Caleb Durward, who is paired up against Kenta Hiroki. Caleb is, this is the matchup we featured earlier. Caleb is playing his San Diego Blue Zoo, I guess we're calling it or something, I don't know. It's Wild Nakatl, Jace the Mind Sculptor, let's go. And Kenta is playing Blue-White Landstill.
Nothing, absolutely nothing different than what we would expect.
He's got a Feast and Famine in his deck. Sword of Feast and Famine is going to be pretty good in this matchup. He's only made-decking 3 Force Wills, which is going to help him.
He has Vision, not Standstill. Worth noting.
I don't know if that helps or hurts. Let's see what else. Yeah, pretty standard.
Only 3 Force of Wills.
Yeah, splashing right out of the board. Can pay for that Pact of the Titan.
Huh. So see, the one mountain, there you go.
He has Fire Spout out of the board on top of Wrath of God.
Wow, that could be huge in this matchup, actually.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Should be interesting.
Wow. So earlier today, when we saw this matchup, we saw Caleb. Well, I mean, Caleb eventually lost. It was a draw, though, right?
Right.
Yeah. The game ended up being a draw. Caleb conceded.
Caleb looked like he was behind.
But Caleb was probably going to lose, yeah. So we'll see if it plays out the same way. You can definitely go both ways, though.
Right.
The Jaces out of Caleb's deck are just incredible.
Really, they are.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Kenta has 3 Vendilion clicks, not 2. Just all very, very small differences.
Yeah, small differences, but mostly exactly what you would expect. He's got a Sword of Fire and Ice, Sword of Feast and Famine in the main deck. Go along with Batter Skull.
Right.
Still has the Crucible, only 2 spell snares.
Right. Should be a good match, though. This is definitely an interactive matchup to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And these are 2 major decks, or, sorry, 1 major deck in the format and 1 major new deck in the format.
Right.
So, if you want to see how Caleb's deck does, you're going to have to look at how it does in this matchup, because this matchup is a very popular matchup.
Right.
And if you can't win this matchup, it's going to be a big problem.
If Stoneforge Mystic Blue-White is probably, I want to say, once you get to the later rounds, easily the deck you are going to be most likely to face.
Yeah, I agree with that entirely. So, you have to be ready for it. Is Caleb ready for it? We're going to find out as these guys battle out for top 8.
Yep.
And here we go. We're about to go to the match. Let's see which of these players makes the top 8 of the tournament. On your right, Caleb Durward playing his own little take on Zoo. Zoo with blue. Zoo with Jace the Mind Sculptor, Brainstorm, and Mental Misstep. Banton Zoo, San Diego Zoo, Aquarium, Blue Zoo.
I like Aquarium. I was going to say Sea Cats, but...
Sea Cats,
okay.
Sure. Caleb's won the dice roll. He's on the play.
And then Kenta Hiroki playing Blue-White Control is on your left.
Yeah, Blue-White Control, exactly what you would expect, once again. This is round 9 of the Star City Games Open Series here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined here by Ari Lax. And this is going to be an exciting match. The winner makes top 8 of the tournament.
Yep.
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Aquarium? Or is it going to be... I like Aquarium. Let's stick with Aquarium. Is it going to be Aquarium? Or is it going to be Blue-White?
I think that... I don't know. It should be interesting to see. The interesting thing is that it's also possible that if this goes to a draw again, Kenta just makes top 8, because I think he was X1 going into this round.
X1? Okay. Yeah, where Caleb is X1-1 right now.
Yeah, Caleb
he cannot afford
to draw.
Yeah, they absolutely have to play.
Yeah.
Nothing
I believe they were
at
table 4.
Let's see. Yeah. So it looks like Kenta's taking a trip to Paris, not the good kind, as he mulligans down to 6 cards.
Yep. 6 cards. First mulligan.
Yep. Caleb is keeping his hand, satisfied with what he has. What do you think are the key cards to look for in I
think it's just
this matchup?
Jace on both sides, but the Zoo deck, I think the card is Knight of the Reliquary, and the Blue-White deck, it's Stoneforge Mystic is the card that goes with Jace.
Yeah, I think Stoneforge Mystic is super important, and I think a fast start by Caleb is also important. Like, Caleb can just play like the Wild Nakatl Tarmogoyf game and just run over the Blue-White deck, and then supplemented by Jace the Mind Sculptor.
I don't know how often that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We'll see what happens. I mean, Caleb's deck is not set up as well for that as much as the other.
It doesn't have a lot of it doesn't have Fire Blast, it doesn't have even Chain Lightning to really capitalize on that, but we'll see.
Right, exactly. All right. Kenta looks at his 6 cards, see if these are more acceptable to him. Looks like he's okay with it. All right, Caleb leads with the Misty Rainforest, cracking it. Are we going to see a Nikado this turn? Or a Noble Hierarchy, you think?
I don't know. We'll see. Could be either one. Both of them are equally good in certain scenarios.
Yep. Well, here we go. Taps Tropical Island. Down comes...
Looks like...
Oh,
the kitten.
Wild Nikado.
And he has the Natural Plateau in hand.
Morale. There's the Nikado. And Kenta, on the other hand, looks like he's got a Swords in his hands.
Yes.
A bunch of lands.
He's got a Jace, a Brainstorm. Let's see. All I can make out right now, a Scalding Tarn, at least one other land. Scalding Tarn was what he drew first turn. Arid Mace was what he drew first turn. But looks like he's gonna play a Scalding Tarn and pass the turn.
Otherwise, side events will be closing at 7:15.
Kenta has a Wasteland. That's one of the cards in his hand. Caleb follows up his turn 1 Wild Nikado with a Grim Lavamancer and a Noble Hierarch. This might be one of those run you over starts you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you just get some quick damage in. And granted, Kenta can just drop a Mystic, go find Batterskull, and so on, but...
He does not have that one this game, though. I think this Wild Nikado, it might be about to get swords.
So Nikado comes in. I think Kenta probably swords it here. Yeah, trigger. He's like trigger on the stack. Okay, trigger on the stack is gonna get a land, swords down that Nikado. And find a Tundra, get rid of that Nikado, and that's that. Now, Caleb's started significantly slowed. See if he capitalized on something next turn. He does have 4 mana next turn, so if Caleb's hiding a Jace in his hand, he'll be able to deploy it if he has a land and start taking control of the game, especially if Kenta is just going to tap out for a Stoneforge Mystic, which I would expect him to do here. It looks like Kenta's put a Wasteland in front of his hand, so down comes Wasteland, tap, and Stoneforge Mystic. There we go. So if Caleb has a Jace, he could really get ahead right here.
He must have just drawn that Stoneforge Mystic, actually. I don't think I saw that in his hand last time he flipped through it.
I think I saw it before. I'm not completely sure.
Well, that Grim Lavamancer is probably going to take down that Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one card in Caleb's graveyard right now, but he probably has a fetch lands.
Yeah.
Or something similar.
Just a spell, even. Maybe just blow a Brainstorm here so we can kill it. Yep. Looks like what he's doing.
And Brainstorm time for Caleb. So what a weird Zoo deck. It's like, oh, by the way, Brainstorm, you know?
Please come to the main stage and we'll reach back rolling. $10 booster draft number 26. Come to the main stage. And at this moment,
so let's see, there's another land for Caleb Durward. And we're probably going to see him. We've got to see him Grim Lavamancer down that Mystic. The only question is what else he's going to do. Yeah, I agree entirely. So the question is, does he have another 1-drop he could play or something?
Let's see.
So shuffles up. And all right, he's tapping 2 for Pride Mage.
Wow.
Okay, so Pride Mage comes down, and then he's got a Lavamancer down that Mystic, right? Yeah, there we go. Lavamancer Mystic. Cracks 2. Goodbye, Mystic. Passes back to Kenta. Kenta's hand looks like it's picked some lands. I see another swords in there. He has the Batterskull he just found. Jace, he's holding on to a Jace.
players who were signed up for standard win box number 12. We unfortunately did not get enough people for your event. If you'll please come to the main event stage, so you can refund your money.
Taps the Tundra. probably trying to figure out if he wants to Swords main phase or no, he goes for the main phase of Brainstorm, finds a fetch land, along with Volcanic Island and I think a mental misstep.
I think his game plan here is just to stabilize and get either this Batterskull or this Jace going.
Yeah, I agree. I think once he stabilizes and just gets the Jace going, things will swing in his favor. The question is,
I think that he might want to get the Batterskull going first, though, especially because that Grim Lavamancer, like there are enough creatures in play that Caleb can actually beat down that Jace pretty well.
Right, you have to hide behind something so the Jace will work out. Let's see. Kenta's still thinking through his options. Taps the Tundra, Swords the Pride Mage right now.
Yeah, just don't let him untap. Don't let him possibly, Kenta doesn't know that Caleb has no counterspell, so just don't let him get into a better position to cast one.
Yeah, the no counterspell is certainly a nice bluff Caleb can put on it, though. Not gonna if he wins, he doesn't have that luxury in the top 8, but for now, he can put it to good use.
Grim Lavamancer serves in. Kenta draws a Spell Snare. And looks like that Wasteland is just going to be sitting there the rest of this game. Both of them have a lot of mana. Caleb has a lot of mana, and Kenta doesn't look like he does. And it looks like Kenta's, pretty hesitant to play this Jace into all these well, not all of these, but this 2-power creatures, 3-power with this Dryad Arbor. So maybe that Wasteland does something, but I have a feeling that Kenta's just going to sit there until that Batterskull can hit. Caleb's going to send in for 2.
Go, little guy, go.
As it's not 3-power because Exalted only pumps single attacks. So it's still just 2, but no longer has to attack with the... Actually, it's 4 damage now because Grim no longer has to attack. That's a Vendilion Flick it looks like he drew.
Okay. Probably getting Lavamancered sometimes after an ability resolves.
Yeah, but it still does what it needs to do, which is take a peek, set everything up. Caleb reveals Lightning Bolt and Swords. I think Kenta takes the Swords here because that can straight up kill the Batterskull Germ token. Whereas, I guess Lightning Bolt only really requires an additional Lavamancer activation. Probably actually take the Lightning Bolt then because the Swords gains you 4 life.
Goes to puts the card on the bottom, picks up a new card. Didn't quite catch what his new card was. And
Kenta drew Sword of Feast and Famine.
Sword
really isn't going to do too much right now, but looking forward could be a way for him to close out the game.
Yeah, eventually. All right, so down goes Vendilion Click.
I think Kenta's going to have to play this Jace here and +2 it.
Yeah, +2. Fortunately, Caleb doesn't have much of a clock creature-wise, so he might be starting to get out of control with that Jace. You'll +2 here, Brainstorm next turn, maybe start getting somewhere,
I don't know if you can Brainstorm next turn just yet, because that Grim Lavamancer can shoot down that Jace.
Well, how many cards are in Caleb's graveyard right now?
I'm assuming enough. I know he's fetched that Dryad Arbor and fetched that has that Windswept you can play since.
I mean, he's been using Grim Lavamancer an awful lot.
That is true.
Normally I think Caleb's graveyard is like right above his deck from playing earlier. I don't see any cards there right now.
I guess Kenta chose to Brainstorm.
All right, so Kenta opted to Brainstorm. Probably just going for the...
Trying just to get Batterskull in play, probably.
Yeah, the old one and done.
that Feast and Famine could get interesting, but I don't think he's going to keep it.
Yeah, I don't think this is the time. It's going to be hard for him to get his creatures online here. Drops down Arid Mesa.
Leaving up Spell Snare. So do you think Spell Snare's time is running out in this format, or is it still pretty high with Stoneforge Mystic? Kenta is not a female. I, in fact, know him. Sorry to Chris on Twitter.
Oh, that's a...
He is married and has a wife.
At first, I was like really weird. I looked over to Twitter and I was like, "Uh-oh, we've been calling this person the wrong gender this entire match, and why aren't there more people telling us that we're wrong on Twitter?" So I think Spell Snare is still pretty good in this format. Depending on where the things move, like with Hive Mind being good, maybe Enchantress is an okay deck now, a Dredge, like Spell Snare certainly gets worse, but there's so many good cards you can hit. Tarmogoyf, Stoneforge Mystic is still a pinnacle of the format. Dark Confidant, him to Turok is one good answer to him.
That's true. So it looks like Caleb's going to try and gun down this Jace the Mind Sculptor. A
card I've actually been waiting to see play is, I know Daze isn't played a ton right now, but it's Force Spike. I'm curious if Force Spike will ever make a reappearance in the format. Just because like against Hive Mind, it's pretty good. I understand Daze does a similar thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a real reason to play Force Spike over Daze, or maybe I don't even know if there's a reason to play Force Spike over Spell Pierce most of the time too.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see. I doubt it'll ever be played, but it's a card I've always liked a lot. So
yeah.
Or you just Mana Tithe them. Never seen that one coming.
That one might see some real play because that one does something unique.
Right. I mean, like in your Zoo deck or something, right?
Yeah.
You can Tithe them, and it's a card that's good against Hive Mind, and also just good against other random things.
It's a better card than Angel's Grace in general.
Right, because you can do things against other decks too. You know, maybe they go for their Wrath on turn 4, and you're just like, all right, pay 1.
Yeah, it looks like Caleb only has 1 card in his graveyard right now, actually. Cannot gun down that Jace.
Yeah. Yeah, so that Jace is going to get another activation. Kenta played this one well. And searches up a land.
Yeah, Jace and Batterskull will be in play this turn, and it looks like...
That might be it for Caleb.
I wouldn't say that's it, but...
Well, not it, but...
Kenta is suddenly in command of the game.
Yeah, like Caleb has to play like a Pride Mage or something this turn, I feel. If Kenta untaps with Batterskull and Jace, it's going to be really rough.
Caleb does have a Lightning Bolt, I believe, but...
So, Kenta brainstorms.
That's a Sword of Fire and Ice in his hand. Looks like he hit a land and some card I cannot make out from there.
And I think he's got a Misstep in his hand, so that he Misstep the Bolt that Caleb has. And there's the Mystic. Okay, so he's going to go the other route and see if his Mystic survives, and then try and Batterskull that way.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Eat some Lavamancer fuel, makes it so that Lightning Bolt cannot level up into killing that Batterskull.
Right. Although the Misstep in Kenta's hand will certainly help him out a lot. I think this is a pretty good conservative play that's actually reasonable right now.
Yeah. So it looks like Kenta's debating which sword he wants to fetch here. Fire and Ice looks like the best way to protect the Batterskull, protect it from Lightning Bolt, protect it from Grim Lavamancer. Card draw is pretty relevant because that Jace probably isn't going to last too long. But it also might just be that Feast and Famine is going to push through damage. Looks like Kenta has a Mishra's Factory joining the crew over there. Stoneforge Mystic gets swords. Oh, my bad. He took Lightning Bolt with the vanilla click, not sword. So that's what he's been having all the time. Looks like that swords is getting Mental Misstepped, which gets Mental Misstepped right back. So Stoneforge Mystic gets swords. Kenta gains some life. Mishra's Factory is still there on the block, though, so we'll see how that goes. Even if Grim Lavamancer shoots it down, that means Grim Lavamancer is actually just empty. Oh, Caleb has a Knight of the Reliquary active now, it looks like. Ah. Covered up by the round 9 marker, but that card changes things a lot here. Jace is probably going to die here. And Batterskull might not be enough anymore. Fried Arbor gets Wastelanded, and Knight of the Reliquary comes at, I believe, Kenta's face. It's, I believe, 2 damage there on top of the Knight's base 2, so that's 4. Grim Lavamancer, post-combat, shoots Jace down. The fact that Knight's only at 4 is kind of relevant, but it looks like it's staying, or it might have been a 5, but it's staying a 4, and that means that that Batterskull is not going to trade with it on the block, just because of the Noble Hierarch exalted. Kenta isn't quite in burn range yet, so he doesn't necessarily have to worry about this one attack, but it's very possible that Caleb is just going to hold his Knight back, except for his card's a Lightning Bolt, which kind of changes this dynamic a bit and actually puts him into lethal range. Interesting. Caleb chooses to Lightning Bolt the Germ token instead of just go for the kill. I think that attacking with Knight of the Reliquary first... Actually, that's not correct, because if you, under the Exalted triggers, leave Knight of the Reliquary as a 5/5, so it would survive the block. So it may have been right to attack with the Knight first, see what Kenta does on the block, and then if Kenta just doesn't block and goes into burn range, maybe just try and kill him. Who knows? But Kenta's in a pretty rough spot here. I don't know what he's planning on doing to stay alive in this game. I don't see a Swords to Plowshares in his hand, and that's really the only card he could have at this point. He needs to stop this Knight. Though I guess, again, Caleb is still stuck on cards in Graveyard. Never mind. He can, the Mistress Factory is just sitting there and would have actually... Is Caleb just forgetting about Exalted? Or does he not want to trade the Knight for a potential Vendilion click? Kenta ships away his own Spell Snare. Let's see. And Kenta draws a Jace. He also chose not to bounce the Batterskull on end step, which is interesting. Oh, he's equipping it to this. Oh, wow. This is something we have not seen for a while. Batterskull has another activated ability.
I can equip it to a creature.
Yeah, it does have 2 of those.
I'll, or not. Jace time.
Yeah.
Although I certainly equipping it to the Vanilla Click is some kind of endgame you could consider.
I think that Knight of the Reliquary is going to be bounced right here.
Yep, Knight is gone.
You can't equip it to the click here because then Knight gets it active. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Lavamancer is now active. You deal 2. Kenta sitting at 4 life. And, of course, Caleb searches up the Wooded Foothills, meaning that he will get a 3rd card into his graveyard. He'll only need 1 more card to make that Lavamancer lethal on the next turn. Lavamancer deals 2 to Kenta. And now Caleb's going to draw. Might have...
wanted to fetch so he can't draw the land?
Yeah, I would have fetched.
It's possible, yeah, because the Brainstorm doesn't really matter too much.
Maybe not. So...
Noble Hierarch gets in there, and I think it's time for this Vendilion Click to trade.
But if he blocks, that's lethal, right?
Caracas.
Caracas. I did not see the Caracas. Nice little one of land. Not all the blue-white decks have that one.
They do not. And that card generally becomes really good.
All right. The Knight comes back down for Caleb Durward. And then he casts Brainstorm.
Which
should be
lethal.
And
yep,
Kenta concedes.
How
many times do you someone just scoop to a Brainstorm? Not that often, right?
I've seen a lot of times where people should have scooped to a Brainstorm.
Sure. Fair enough. So Caleb Durward takes game 1 en route to potential top 8 if he wins one more with his crazy Aquarium deck, I guess.
Yeah.
Aquarium.
So let's look at sideboards.
Yeah, let's go to sideboards here. So looking at Caleb Durward's sideboard, Thrun the Last Troll coming in.
Right.
Gaddock probably coming in.
Red Blast coming in.
Red Blast coming in.
Maybe Ancient Grudge coming in.
Maybe Ancient Grudge. Tower of the Magistrate.
He brought an Aven Mind Sensor last time.
Yeah, last time we watched Kenta play this matchup before. Last time he brought an Aven Mind Sensor. I'm not sure about that, but he might bring it in again. We'll see. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know.
Yeah. Kenta, on the other hand, Elspeth Knight Errant probably coming in. Wrath of God coming in. Fire Spout probably coming in.
Triple Fire
Three
Spout.
Fire Spouts. Only one Wrath of God, but 3 Fire Spouts. And that kills a lot of things. It kills mana, it kills Wildnacatl, it kills everything except for Knight, basically, and Tarmogoyf, but I don't know how big of a threat Tarmogoyf is to this set. Maybe, I think Crucible of Worlds could be good in this matchup. Caleb's on all non-basics, you can just lock him out if you want to do that. You just need a way to establish control, and you have all these Wrath effects out of the board.
Yeah, potentially that's the thing you can do.
GT is definitely coming in.
GT for sure. That'll be a good one to have around. Even though your guys are fragile, GT is just so powerful.
Right. And obviously the basic mountain to cast those Fire Spots.
Yep. So and the thing is, Kenta has plenty of cards to take out. He can take out Force of Will, for example.
Actually, this basic mountain might not come in. I don't know if he thinks that Caleb has Wastelands. He does have a Volcanic main.
I mean, it's also just another source to cast your Fire Spouts, which can be important.
Yeah, but you have 3 Scalding Tarns, 4 Flooded Strand, and an Arid Main. So that's 8 fetches in a Volcanic Island. Do you really need another?
That's only 9 sources.
It's probably enough.
And you have Brainstorm, I guess, which helps you out.
Force of Will is probably going out here.
Yeah, Force of Will is definitely going out. In this
and one
matchup.
of the swords, probably.
One of the swords, if not both of them. If you're bringing GT, you can probably just take out both swords, right? Because you don't want to draw them, really.
That's true. Neither of them are the life gain swords. It's not what you want.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that the one Batterskull might be a problem here. Just only one, not 2.
You may need a second one. So I think cutting both the swords is reasonable, and then you could also cut forces. That's 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you cut the Crucible, maybe you don't. I think Crucible is probably going to be too slow, although I understand rebounding is just factories and Wastelands is kind of neat.
It's an end game. It's not, well, it's just the Wasteland, and Caleb's deck is all non-basics except for that 1 forest.
Maybe you just leave the one in. I don't know if you board in the second one.
There is one in the main deck. That might be enough.
Yeah, leaving the one in might be okay. Yeah, I mean, looking at these lists, I think they're going to remain mostly the same. The big change is the blue-white deck has a lot of sweepers after sideboarding, so Caleb has to play a lot more scared. He can't just run guys out all the time. Wrath and Fire Spout are going to do a number on what he's got to offer. We'll see how this goes. Looks like the players are off to the races. Kenta with the land pass, Caleb with land pass, Kenta with land pass, Caleb cracking a fetch land at the end of Kenta's turn. Cracking 2 fetch lands, sorry, excuse me. Camera panned in there. Cracking 2 fetch lands on Caleb's turn. And I think we're going to see a 2-drop here. Could it be Tarmogoyf? Quasali Pride Mage. So the little 2/2 is going to get brainstormed in response. Kenta probably looking for a Spell Snare. Let's see if we find the Spell Snare. Alright. Kenta cracks fetch land. And we'll see what land he finds. I almost wonder if he's going to go for the Volcanic Island now. No, he goes for Tundra. I guess it's good to slow roll the Fire Spout if you have it. I don't know if he has more fetches. And he does. I think I saw one in his hand. He swords away the Pride Mage. And now he's got plenty of removal waiting in the wings, I think. Of his deck, at least. He has 4 sweepers. Caleb brainstorms. And Kenta's going to mental misstep that. Tapping a mana. Caleb plays a fetch land. And passes the turn back to Kenta. Caleb has no action going on. So Kenta has like how this game is going, like his chances. Nothing's going to run him over, and there's a Jace. That's going to be unopposed. Caleb could theoretically fetch up Dryad Arbor here, serve in, crack at the Jace for 1, but without any backup, that's not going to do a whole lot. Maybe if you have a Pride Mage in your hand, you could consider it, but... Alright, bolts down the Jace, and Kenta has a second misstep. That's going to leave the Jace alive, and that might give Kenta what he needs. Oh, another bolt. Kenta does not show a third misstep. All right, Brainstorm for Caleb Durward. This time it resolves. He still has the fetch land untapped to use it. Looks like Lightning Bolt. Something else hiding in Caleb's hand. And Wooded Foothills comes down. So Caleb cracks both lands now. Probably going to see some other kind of 2-drop. Let's see.
Spotlight yourself. I see how it is. See how it is. Fast Avenue, we said yes.
Tundra, Taiga, and Greenstone's in for 1, probably finding Wild Nikotl. Yep, Wild Nikotl, and Zenith gets shuffled back in. So, Nikotl up. Caleb has somewhat of a threat now, but Kenta's already brainstormed once, got pretty far ahead. Hasn't had to deal with any threats all the way to 4 mana. Plays out a 5th land, and gonna tap 4 mana again for a second Jace the Mind Sculptor, and he's just gonna bounce out Wild Nikotl. Probably what his plan is he's gonna have Caleb play the Wild Nikotl again, and then he'll brainstorm on his turn. Yeah, plays a Jace, trading them off. I'm sure he's fine with that. Plays down a land. Kenta looks like he's got another land in his hand. He's a little flooded. And Mishra's Factory. Now Caleb has Ancient Grudge for the Mishra's Factory. Now that's pretty brutal. Kenta Spell Snares, but Caleb can still flash it back. So those factories, one of the factories is going to become a 4/4, which is kind of rough for that Wild Nikotl. So Kenta's going to activate this in response, pump it with the other factory, block, and then have the factory pump itself. And then Nikotl's going to go away, and man. So this game's looking really good for Kenta.
Yes. I just got word that Alex Bertoncini did in fact make top 8 as we had speculated.
Wow, very nice. It's Alex with no rug. Been a little while with his Merfolk down for the count.
Yeah.
But now he's back up in the top 8. Even he knows when it's time to leave the School of Fish. So.
I get it. School's a pun there. It's not a pun. I guess double entendre. I don't even know.
All
Maybe
right.
just bad.
Kenta attacks for 2 with
Mishra's Factory.
Mishra's Folk. It's the Inception joke. It's multi-layered.
Looks like his hand is Spell Snare.
Jace. Oh my.
Oh.
Jace for Caleb. Picks up 3 cards, and if Caleb needed something, this was it. Now that factory can attack into that Jace and help whittle it down, but Caleb's still going to get a couple activations out of it.
Caleb also has a red. Is that a Plateau that's up or a Taiga?
It's Taiga, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So he does have Lightning Bolt up, so it's possible that factory just might not end up getting through.
I think if you're Kenta, you have to serve with your factory here.
Looks like Kenta has Relic of Progenitus.
Okay. Gonna crack it, remove all the graveyards, which is not only gets rid of Tarmogoyf stats, but also deals with another Reliquary.
Yep.
And now that he knows Caleb has Ancient Grudge, also helps get rid of that one too.
Yeah. That's the whole Relic of Progenitus thing was something that not a lot of people do, but it's definitely a little bit of an edge out of these control decks.
Right, and it's good to know when to do it too, because I think a lot of players will board them in just want to see a Tarmogoyf in the dark, and I don't like that. But there are some matchups where it's right, and in this one, it might be okay to do so. I'm not so sold that it's perfect.
That is a Thrun the Last Troll.
Thrun comes down for Caleb Durward. That's going to be rough for Kenta. Can't Mishra's Factory into that one.
It's possible that this is going to be back-to-back top 8s for Caleb here.
Well, we'll see. It was looking bad for Caleb for a while, but that Jace plus Thrun, this is where the big part of the zoo, this is where the aquarium part of the zoo starts to come into play, because normal zoo couldn't just sit on a Jace the Mind Sculptor brainstorming and a Thrun the Last Troll. But Caleb, he plays it one way, and his one way is no way. So he just does the craziest things, and putting Jace in zoo might work out.
Yeah.
We've seen him innovate. He made top 8 of the last Open with his blue-white Pure Steel Paladin deck that he's been working on in Standard. We've seen him work on this format and do well, and various things, played black, white, crazy stuff. We saw him top 8 Legacy Grand Prix and innovate the survival archetype. And now here we are, and he's on the cusp of making another top 8 with a Jace version of Zoo.
Yeah, Jace, Wild and Cuddle, and Thrun team up.
Alright, let's see. Kenta taps some mana, serves at the Jace, and Ancient Grudge is going to say goodbye to that Mistress Factory. And now he's got the Grudge in case there are any more artifacts that come to be a problem, like Batter Skull. And Caleb's brainstormed so many times now, he's gotten so far ahead.
He's activated Jace more than twice. This game's pretty out of hand.
Let's see. Taps 1, and there's a Nikadal to complement his Thrun. Thrun drops Kenta down to 8. If both those get through next turn, that'll bring Kenta down to 1 life. And then he's just a bolt away.
Yeah.
Caleb cracks a fetch land, adding cards into his graveyard and thinning his deck just slightly.
Looks like Caleb even has a Red Blast. I saw it in his hand last turn, and it seems like not much Kenta can do here. He has a Wrath of God that doesn't even kill that Thrun. Oh no, Wrath of God kills that Thrun. My bad. Does not kill that Jace.
Awkward. Caleb cracks his fetch land, fails to find. Has all of his lands. I'm pretty sure he did not blood a land there. I might have missed it while I was looking at you talking, but I don't think so.
It might have been the Basic Forest.
Could have been the Basic Forest. You might not have had that one before.
I don't know how much having more than 1 million mana matters.
Okay, but brings Kenta down to 1 life. Is this lights out? Brainstorm. He's going to try and find the answer.
And by answer, you mean Bolt?
Yeah. The answer to Kenta's life total.
The answer to Kenta's draw step?
Plays Wooded Foothills.
Yeah.
Passes the turn.
No?
Or no, and plays Knight. Just playing right into any sweeper by Kenta.
But does not look like it.
That's it.
Match.
Caleb Durward is X11, and assuming everything goes according to plan, he will be in the top 8 of this event.
This was table 4, correct?
Yeah.
He is assuredly in top 8 of this
X11,
event.
as long as he doesn't mark drop on the result slip, he should be fine. Hey, I'm back in the booth. Gavin Verhey here with Ariel Axe.
Hello.
We just saw Caleb Durward lock up his 2nd top 8 this weekend.
Yes.
That's pretty insane. Back-to-back top 8s for Caleb.
So, looking at the rest of the top 8, we know Manaless Dredge is in top 8.
Okay.
We know, so there's Aquarium.